The path to control begins with silence. He who speaks from emotion betrays himself. Every word uttered in passion reveals weakness, a glimpse into the strings that can be pulled. Anger reveals what offends you. Love reveals what you long for. Fear reveals what you dread. But silence, true silence, conceals everything. The man who feels nothing and speaks little becomes unreadable, unknowable. His rivals cannot predict him. His enemies cannot manipulate him. And his followers can only wonder. In silence lies mystery, and in mystery lies control. To master silence is to master the art of remaining untouchable, because no one can strike what they cannot see. The second step is discipline of the body. Emotions dwell not only in the mind, but in the flesh. Fear quickens the pulse, anger tightens the jaw, sorrow bends the posture. The man who allows his body to betray him loses before he begins. To control everything, you must first command your own body as a soldier obeys his general. Your face must remain calm when others scream, your eyes steady when others tremble, your movements deliberate when others rush. The mask of control becomes reality when worn without interruption. Men trust those who appear unshaken, even if they do not know why. The unmoved body becomes the throne of power. Third, you must understand that emotions are tools, not masters. To feel nothing does not mean to destroy passion, but to bend it to use. Anger can be staged to intimidate. Pity can be feigned to manipulate. Love can be performed to win trust. The wise ruler does not reject emotion entirely. He wears it like a costume when it serves his design. The people must believe he cares for them, though he does not. His allies must believe he trusts them, though he doubts them. His enemies must believe he fears them, though he does not. Emotion is a weapon of deception, not of truth. When you feel nothing within, you can project anything outward, and in this performance, you control everything. Consider envy, one of the most destructive passions in human nature. Men envy those who rise above them, those who possess what they lack. Envy breeds hatred, plots, and rebellion. To feel envy yourself is poison, for it makes you waste strength on resentment instead of action. To be envied, however, is dangerous unless you wield it carefully. The man who feels nothing toward envy uses it to his advantage. He cloaks his power when necessary, downplays his success to disarm rivals, or directs envy against his enemies by exposing their arrogance. By remaining unaffected himself, he redirects the venom of envy toward others. Thus, he remains untouchable. Another chain is guilt. Ordinary men are paralyzed by the memory of their wrongs, the weight of their sins. They hesitate to act harshly because they fear the stain of conscience. But guilt is a luxury the powerful cannot afford. The man who feels nothing for guilt acts freely, without hesitation, without remorse. He knows that history does not remember kindness, only victory. His deeds may be condemned in whispers, but his power will be respected in silence. To act without guilt is to cut away hesitation, to command with clarity. Those who drown in conscience are slaves to ghosts. Those who cast it aside are masters of the living. To control everything, you must learn the art of timing. Emotion rushes. It pushes men into action too soon or too late. Love accelerates surrender. Anger provokes premature attack. Fear delays until it is too late. The man who feels nothing is patient. He waits as the storm of emotions tears through others, while he himself remains calm. He strikes when all others are weak. He moves when all others are exhausted. His lack of passion makes him timeless, while their passion makes them reckless. The one who controls timing controls the outcome, and timing belongs to the man who feels nothing. Power is sustained not only through strength, but through perception. Men must believe you are unshakable, that nothing touches you. Appearances matter more than truth. If you appear calm when besieged, loyalists will cling to you. If you appear fearless when threatened, enemies will hesitate. If you appear merciful when merciless, subjects will love you despite cruelty. To feel nothing is to master this art of appearance, for when you are unmoved inside, it is easy to project whatever mask the moment demands. But when you are filled with emotion, the mask cracks and others see through you. The unshaken man controls the theater of perception. In the court of politics, alliances are dangerous because they are built on shifting sands of loyalty and ambition. A ruler who feels too much trust is betrayed. A ruler who feels too much affection is manipulated. But the ruler who feels nothing binds allies with necessity, not sentiment. He gives them enough to depend on him, but never enough to surpass him. He rewards their loyalty while keeping them weak, praises them while keeping them watched, empowers them while keeping them divided. He controls them as a puppeteer controls strings, because his lack of feeling prevents him from making fatal concessions. Allies may love him, hate him, or fear him, but they never control him. In personal life, too, the principle applies. The ordinary man is consumed by relationships, by love affairs, by family conflicts, by friendships turned sour. His energy bleeds into emotional entanglements, leaving little for ambition. But the man who feels nothing is free. He does not rely on others for validation, comfort, or meaning. He takes companionship when it serves him, withdraws when it weakens him. He remains a fortress unto himself, dependent on no one. Those who cling to him will cling harder, sensing his detachment. Those who try to wound him will fail, finding no vulnerability. He belongs to himself, and because of this, he controls his own fate absolutely. There will always be those who say that to feel nothing is to lose humanity, but humanity itself is weakness when measured against power. Men live, suffer, and die under the rule of those who rise above humanity. Kings, conquerors, and rulers are not remembered for their warmth, but for their dominance. Their greatness came not from surrendering to feelings, but from mastering them. To rise to their level, you must choose the path of control, not comfort. You must prefer to be feared rather than loved, to be respected rather than pitied, to be untouchable rather than vulnerable. The man who feels nothing commands his destiny. He walks through betrayal without breaking, through hatred without faltering, through loss without despair. His enemies fall into rage, love, or fear, and in doing so, they destroy themselves. But he remains calm, always calculating, always watching, always waiting. He controls not only himself, but the battlefield of human interaction. To control everything is not to command armies alone, but to command the invisible battlefield of emotions. And that battlefield belongs to the one who has no master within. The greatest danger to power is not external enemies, but the weakness within. Every empire that fell, every dynasty that crumbled, every ruler that was betrayed, most often it was not by force of arms, but by their own emotions consuming them. Pride made them deaf to warnings. Love made them blind to danger. Fear made them retreat when they should have struck. Pity made them spare those who came back to poison them. The ruler who cannot feel nothing is a prisoner of his own heart, and every prisoner eventually meets a jailer stronger than himself. To be free of this fate, you must crush every passion that can be exploited until no weakness remains. There is a reason Machiavelli spoke of fear as the foundation of power rather than love. Fear is not a feeling you must indulge in yourself, but a feeling you must master in others. A leader who feels nothing of fear inspires fear. His calmness in the face of danger unnerves enemies. His decisiveness commands obedience. When others tremble, he acts. When others hope, he calculates. When others despair, he advances. His absence of fear transfers into their dependence upon him. They cling to his strength because they have none of their own. He becomes their anchor, their shield, their guide because he is unshaken. To control everything, you must also control memory. Ordinary men live in the past, bound by grief, nostalgia, or regret. They are weakened by remembering what they have lost, or longing for what once was. But the man who feels nothing toward the past is free. He learns from it but does not mourn it, remembers but does not ache. He moves forward without hesitation, never chained by yesterday. In contrast, his enemies look backward and hesitate. They cling to old wounds, old friendships, old loyalties, and in doing so they become predictable. The man without emotional memory is uncatchable. Because he does not retrace his steps, he creates new ones. Ambition itself is dangerous when mixed with emotion. For some, ambition is vanity, seeking crowns for adoration. For others, ambition is greed, seeking wealth for pleasure. These motives are easily manipulated. Promise admiration, and the vain will obey. Promise riches, and the greedy will serve. But the man who feels nothing toward vanity or greed cannot be bought. His ambition is pure, to control everything, not for applause, not for indulgence, but for mastery itself. This ambition is untouchable, because it does not depend on external rewards. It is ambition for dominion, for the art of power, for shaping the world like clay. No bribe can buy him, no gift can tame him. He belongs only to his will. The man who feels nothing also controls betrayal. Betrayal destroys those who expect loyalty, those who feel too much trust, too much love, too much faith in men. But betrayal cannot harm the one who expects it. Machiavelli taught that men are by nature selfish, ungrateful, and treacherous, turning on their benefactors when fortune shifts. To accept this truth without bitterness, to feel nothing of disappointment when betrayal comes, is to remain untouchable. The wise ruler assumes betrayal, guards against it, and even uses it. He rewards the betrayer temporarily, only to set him against others. He pits traitor against traitor, until loyalty to him is the only safe path, because he feels nothing when knives turn against him. He turns those knives to his own advantage. The battlefield of perception is endless, and emotions are its weapons. You will be called cruel, heartless, ruthless. These words are meant to weaken you, to make you doubt, but words only wound those who feel. To feel nothing is to let them pass like shadows. The accusations of cruelty fade when you remain in power. The slander of heartlessness disappears when your enemies are buried. History remembers not sentiment but strength. The cruel are feared, the heartless are obeyed, the ruthless are remembered, the kind are forgotten. If you must choose, choose to be remembered. Control also requires detachment from desire. Desire is a leash that rivals can pull. Desire for recognition makes you vulnerable to flattery. Desire for comfort makes you vulnerable to luxury. Desire for intimacy makes you vulnerable to manipulation. But the man who feels nothing toward desire is dangerous, because nothing can be offered to buy him. Nothing can be withheld to weaken him. He accepts comfort when it comes, but does not depend on it. He accepts recognition when it arrives, but does not crave it. He accepts intimacy when it serves him, but does not cling to it. Without desire, he cannot be seduced. Without seduction, he cannot be enslaved. Even time itself bows to the man who feels nothing. Others grow restless, impatient, burning with the need for quick victory. They waste strength chasing immediacy, but he who feels nothing toward urgency waits. He plants seeds and lets them grow in silence. He builds patiently while others rush to ruin. His lack of passion makes him eternal, because he is never consumed by haste. He can outlast rivals, outweight enemies, outlive obstacles, because he does not waste energy in emotional storms. Time bends toward those who endure, and endurance belongs to the one who feels nothing. The man who feels nothing becomes like stone, immovable, unyielding, solid. But stone alone is not enough. Stone must also be sharpened into a blade, and wielded with cunning. For though you may master your emotions, others will always be ruled by theirs. This is your battlefield, their love, their anger, their fear, their pity, their guilt. These are strings for you to pull. They will rage at insults, and you will provoke them. They will crave praise, and you will feed them crumbs. They will fear loss, and you will threaten withdrawal. They will hope for mercy, and you will grant it sparingly. In this way, you rule them not with chains but with their own passions. Because you feel nothing, you see clearly. And because you see clearly, you control everything. And yet there is one final mastery, the mastery of the self-image. To others, you must appear not empty but complete. If they believe you feel nothing, they may see you as inhuman, and inhumanity breeds revolt. You must balance the mask carefully, appear stern but just, merciful on occasion, affectionate when necessary, never too much, never too real. They must believe you have a heart, even as you keep it hidden. For men are comforted by illusions, and illusions are easy to give when you feel nothing yourself. Your heart remains locked, but they must think it beats for them. That is the final art of control, to appear human without being trapped by humanity. Machiavelli's warning is clear. Those who wish to control must first control themselves. The man who cannot govern his passions cannot govern a city, a kingdom, or an empire. The ruler who weeps when he should strike, who forgives when he should punish, who hesitates when he should act, is doomed. But the ruler who feels nothing governs with iron certainty. He is feared, respected, and obeyed, because nothing within him can be exploited. He becomes untouchable, unshakable, unstoppable. He becomes more than man. He becomes the hand of power itself. So take this path if you dare. Train your silence until it becomes armor. Train your body until it reveals nothing. Train your will until it yields nothing. Tear out fear, burn out love. Cut away pity, starve hope. Use emotion only as a mask, never as a master. Look at the world without illusions. Act without hesitation, and endure without remorse. For in the end, there is no freedom in feeling. There is only slavery, but in feeling nothing, you gain everything: clarity, strength, dominion. And with that clarity, that strength, that dominion, you control everything.